So we got a little spoiled with Google, and we have that auto magic save. But in Nearpod, when you're done with your lesson, you do want to save and exit from the editing dashboard. You can do that down there on the bottom. It's going to ask you for some information, naming your lesson, what grade it's for, subject area, etc., all for your categorization and reference later. Once that's done, give it a few seconds to save depending on the size of your lesson. You get to do my absolute favorite part, which is you actually get to share it with your students. Hovering your mouse over it will let you either present it as a student paced model, which is not available in the basic features in a basic package. The only option you have is live lesson, which is fine. Click on live lesson and it will show you the unique join code for your students or your viewers to enter to be able to participate in your lesson. You can send it an email, you can send it in Google Classroom. There are lots and lots of different options. For our purpose today, on the left side of the screen, you're going to see the presenter view, and on the right side of the screen, I'm showing you the view of your student. And a student can access this by going to www.nearpod.com/student, and they enter the code that you can display in the front of the room for them, or that's shared in Google Classroom. Once they enter that code, they'll be prompted to log in with their name, and they can join your session. When they join the session, they will look at the first slide that you created for your lesson. And when you close out of that window on the presenter side, you'll be looking at the exact same thing they are. And you can progress through your slides, through your lesson, and it will pace along with you. What the students see is exactly what you see on your screen. As you advance, the student screens will advance. As you move, the student screens will move. You are literally controlling what they're able to see, and they are always extremely close to point of instruction, which is crucial. They have access to the models or the content that you put in there. They're able to interact with them, move them around, zoom them. You can do it on the display as well. The next thing that we have is a poll, one of the activities that we put in there. Students are going to interact with the poll on their side, answering the questions just as you would on any multiple choice test or assessment. And once they submit their answer, on the left side, their information will populate. Granted, there's only one student, but you can see the example pretty clearly, and it will give you a graph to show how students answered. You can toggle student names on and off on the bottom right-hand side, so students can feel confident and secure in their answers and not to feel nervous about anyone else seeing whether they got it right or wrong. Another option you have is to share student answers, especially if we're working collaboratively, by clicking the share button. And whichever answer you select in your presentation side will then show up on every student screen. Not so exciting with a poll, but a little bit more excited with the open-ended question. So I'm giving you an example here of an open-ended question. Student submits their answer on the right side, and then they press submit, and it will populate on the left side for you, and that'll change. And by clicking on the answer, you can press share. It'll show on the front of the screen. You can talk about it as a class, or you can click the share button, and then it will show up on every active student screen who is currently participating in your Nearpod lesson. Open for discussion, open for collaboration. It's a very neat feature that Nearpod offers. When you're done with your lesson, you can exit. It will save your place so you can revisit it later on. If you go to the left side of the screen and click on reports at the end of your lesson, it will actually pull up all of the reports every time you've run a Nearpod lesson, and you can click and access the report for that specific session, and that's the one that we just ran right there. And on the presentation side, and again, this is something you'd be doing on your own, not with students in view, you can look at the individual questions, different types of activities you gave the students, and it will give you a report of their answers. If you had a quiz in there, you can get data on how they performed, and you can download it, or you can share it with a collaborating teacher.